Today at our Montana Homestead in FS25, we met our goal of getting a harvester, and this month we're fertilizing our fields. But the weather turns nasty and we're stuck in a summer hailstorm here on the farm. You can find a link to this playlist in the description below, or check the channel page for other farming series you might like. Well, welcome back to our Montana Homestead here in FS25, and it really just started raining. Yeah, it just started raining. Well, we're back here on our Montana Homestead on the map of Judith Plains, Montana 4X. So, this is episode 8. We are in May, and already been hard at work early this month. Today, we're going to be fertilizing our cornfield, and we need to, let's see, last episode we worked some out here in our grass field, our alfalfa field. Well, I got that all baled up. The alfalfa's already started to grow back. We need to get these bales moved out of the way. We'll talk about some of that. We got some new equipment and some new stuff in the farm. So, first off, I got this this road here. This is the road this is where our silos are going to be. And as I showed you last episode, we got the start to our silos here. We got one silo grain tank. We got the road out here to where figured they'd be. Yeah, I said I was going to do this last episode, and we did. We got the gravel down. Yeah, the rain just started falling. How long do we have of this rain? Doesn't affect a whole lot, but it is kind of, well, it is, it's just inconvenient. The second I started recording, I saw that it was raining, but this happens. We can still do some of the work we want to do in the rain. We can still fertilize our field and do other stuff. I've been busy with contracts so far. Wait, that's not rain. That's hail. Yeah, I thought it looked a little different from rain. Yeah, I can hear it hitting the tractor. All right, well, that happens in May. That'll happen. So, anyway, I got us a harvester, and not the one that I was showing you last episode. Now, so you'll notice we have a lot more money. You also notice this tractor has a lot more hours on it. Put some time in this tractor late last month and early this month, doing work around the area. We've got us a harvester. So I said that this one right here was the one I was going to get. It would be a really good one to have. It'd be capable of doing anything, but I decided we don't need to. I decided it's okay to buy a smaller harvester and start off smaller. It's just what we're going to have to do. That would have been a really difficult purchase to make. Let's catch a ride down to the store and I'll show you the harvester that we got. So I got us this harvester here. You may remember this harvester from FS22. Yeah, I decided this was a good bet. So small hopper, not a big fancy brand new harvester, but the price was right at $130,000 brand new. And we financed this. We're not taking loans out on our homestead challenge here. There's no loans, but we're allowed to finance stuff. I financed it for 6 months. It's $22,000 a month. That's easily doable. And so 130 grand. And the thing is, this harvester is actually kind of a diamond in the rough. We're going to start off, and we're going to go ahead and buy this now. We're going to start off by buying, because we can afford it now, the header that goes with it. We're just going to buy this. But when I say it's a diamond in the rough, yeah, I just did a contract that allows us to afford that. This harvester has, let's hop out here and have a look at it while I get pelted with hail. This harvester has 310 horsepower. Now, I haven't tried it. I mean, I'm sure I have. I don't recall. That should push at least a 10-meter header, maybe even wider than that. 310 horsepower. We maybe could push a 12-meter header. I don't know for sure. See, it comes with a 6-meter header, which is fine. Hey, this is fine. This is all we need under most circumstances, but this is a big map. There are fields here. Oops, there are fields here that literally have more than 50 hectares. Big fields. Some maps have really big fields. Anyway, the point is, just because it comes with a 6-meter header doesn't mean that's the only one it could use. I bet you we could use a 10 for sure, maybe even 12-meter wide header on this. The only limitation, actually, there's one limitation to that you're going to cross into. Never forget this. Always remember this, and that's the length of your auger. The length of your auger is kind of a limiting factor. Not really. It would just make loading, unloading more inconvenient and difficult. So do keep that in mind. I bet we could put a 10-meter header on this, and that auger would still reach out up past it. But that's something to keep in mind. but I bet this could push a bigger header. For now, though, we're going to use this. I decided, hey, let's not get greedy. We've got some money. We're going to need some more money. There's a lot more things we need for our farm. Now that we have this, and I was really wanting to get this by June, because here in Judith Plains, Montana, harvest season starts in June. Canola harvesting will be able to start in June. Now that we have our own harvester, we can take harvesting contracts. So this is going to help us make more money. However, there's another thing with this, and that is on this map, you know, with it being 4x, one thing that's really important is not only the jobs we can do, how much money they can make, but getting between them. It's a big map. Some stuff here is a couple miles apart, and this vehicle has a top speed of 12 miles an hour. So let's get this started heading back to our farm now. So what I'm getting at here is the next most important thing for us to get is a semi-truck and a low loader, so that we can transport our equipment to do these contracts quicker. I've been doing a lot of contracts, and I'll tell you, the huge limitation here on this 4X map is getting from place to place. So we're going to be keeping our eyes open for a semi-truck and low loader. Now, I did not invest in a trailer for this header. One thing I love about American maps, this header, we can drive down the road with this. Yeah, roads are wide enough. In America, we can drive down the road with this guy here. Don't need a trailer. It's one less thing to hassle about. I mean, it might be easier, but honestly, I will just avoid the hassle and drive with this. This is going to be a slow drive back to our farm, so yeah, getting a semi-truck and trailer is kind of a priority. As it is right now, we could afford a semi-truck. We have to leave $22,000 in our bank, or in our money, for when we switch over to June for next month, because we got to make a payment on this harvester. But yeah, no, there's still enough that we could buy a semi-truck, but I want to wait. Maybe one will go on sale, you know, in the used vehicle sale here. Maybe one will go on sale. Unfortunately, this one does not have a fifth wheel option on it. It's very unfortunate. That would have been really good. Yeah, so we'll be able to use this in harvesting contracts. However, again, yeah, the limiting factor is 12 miles an hour to get there. Oof. Yeah, just really, really bad. So, but we've got this that'll harvest our field. All right, so I actually tried to have this thing drive down there, but he won't. I don't know if it's, well, this harvester is a mod. I don't know if he won't or not, or why he won't, but we're gonna have to drive down there ourselves. All right. This drive was taking so long, I just messed around. I was messing around in the menu for like several minutes trying to get this thing to drive out to the farm automatically. It will not drive. I do that all the time on this map because this is a 4X map and this road is actually about 1.5 miles long. It's very slow, even at 30 miles an hour. Here we're going 12 miles an hour. This is an agonizing drive. The AI will not do it. I do it all the time in other tractors, but this guy won't do it. Well, we're driving it back there by hand. All the more reason why it's important we get a semi, truck, and trailer. So I'm going to get this down to our farm, and we're going to work on fertilizing. Well, we're finally making it back to our farm. This is an agonizingly slow drive. Earlier this month, I ran the hoer on our cornfield here, and the work speed of that hoe is actually faster than this thing's speed on the road there. I was just thinking, you know, right now, as we're going down our driveway to our house, if my tractor were out in that field running the hoer, it would pass me. That's how slow we're going. Or, yeah, or a mower. If I was mowing the lawn, and my bush hog literally has a faster work speed than this thing's top speed. This was a very slow and agonizing drive. Also, I'm thinking as we pull up to the farm's looking nice. Look, we got the barn back there, we got the silo over there. It's starting to look more like a farm. A lot more improvements to make, but one thing we need a shelter for this machine. We just bought it. It's brand new. It's beautiful. We need to get a shelter for it, among, well, other things. Lots of other things we need. But try to keep that in mind. And it looks like I'm blocking the entire driveway with our tractor here. Let's get out and move this. I don't know where to park our new harvester yet. I guess we can park it over back by our other equipment back there. We need some more vehicle shelter room. We should build a... Actually, let's check and see what we can build. You know, I think one of these sheds here, which are actually really affordable, would fit this harvester. Let's see. Let's just try it on. No. And would the harvester fit in this shelter? Just gonna try it on here. I don't think so. No, harvester's too big for that. Yeah. Okay. Well, that was a thought. What about? That's 9,000. Oh, that's the one we already have. Yeah. So it would fit in one of these. If you build another one of these like we have, the harvester would easily fit in that. 10,000. Oh, nope, not in there. So we got a couple options, but yeah, we need to get a shelter built for this harvester. What about this guy here? Oh, you know what? It's only $5,000, and it looks like our harvester would fit in that. Does it fit our... I'd like to have kind of a common theme for our buildings. I want to make sure our buildings kind of match a little bit. I think this would be okay. This would be okay. We could build one of these. Can we spare the $5,000? Well, we'll keep that in mind. Money is pretty tight right now. We just spent a bunch of money on this harvester. We got to remember there's 22,000 we need to make our next payment. You know, as soon as it ticks over to June, it's going to take that out. And I'll tell you, after that agonizingly slow drive, a semi is on the top of the list. Semi and a low loader, so we can move this around. If we want to do contracts with this on this map, we're going to have to move it around. All right, let's brave the hail for a minute. Let's get our tractor. We got fertilizing to do. We got to fertilize the cornfield, and also we got to fertilize our alfalfa field back there. But before we do that, we want to move those bales off. So we got some work to do here. I did increase the time scale to 5. I've been running it at 1 because there's just so much work to do on this farm. I did increase it to 5. So hopefully, you know, I'm not going to like cheat and make time fly by, but I moved it up a little bit. Hopefully we can, you know, this hail will go away. So we've got some spare fertilizer here. Let's just top this off. I don't know how much is in there. Yep, there's still some left. All right, so I found the way to do these fields. Got these 2 cornfields here. Now, it calculates them as separate fields. So what we want to do is we want to run this on the outside line. If you were here for the last field, you know what we're going to do. We're going to run this on the outside line of this field, the outside line of that field, and then up the middle, which will hit both fields. Because it calculates these fields independently, it sees this as one field and that as one field. So it's going to have us run this huge overlap pattern, if that makes sense. So what we're going to do is, first we're going to pull up our help window and make sure we're on, full width. We're going to run up our cornfield and fertilize. So yeah, we're going to run the outside line here, the outside line over there, and then up the middle of both fields. Make the most out of our spread without overlapping too much. Yeah, so this is the corn that we planted last month. This month I came over with a hoer. I had to rent one. We don't own one. I had to rent one. I want to get one really bad. We're going to have to, I mean, you know, amongst other equipment, trying to prioritize the stuff that we get, but this will be good now. This corn will be good for the rest of the year. Okay, so we just ran up the outside of that field, and now we're going to go back down south, down the outside of this field. There's our line right there. Yeah, so it wanted us to do, 2 lines in each field. It would have overlapped half the thing. So now we just have the bit in the middle, and we can actually just narrow down our spread on this and go up the middle, and this will be fertilized. Then we got to move these bales. We should get the bales off the alfalfa field. For now, maybe we clear out one of the bays in our machine shed over there and get those hay bales under the roof, maybe. Yeah, we need a lot more buildings. We need a lot more everything. For right now, it's just kind of finding where we can put stuff. While our farm's still developing, we've been here less than a year, you know. Let's check our map here. So composition, yep, we just got that little strip in the middle that needs fertilizing now. So we can just kind of go up here. Whoops, wrong button. Wrong button. I forget where the, yeah, hang on, because I have this off. I forget what the thing is here. Change work with, oh, I was hitting the wrong stick. There we go. I think we can turn our width down to right about here. Still got the coverage we want. Yeah, right here. Just trying to save fertilizer is all. Let's go up the field like this. Could have just made this one field. I like having the 4 separate fields. Right now, 2 of them are wheat, 2 of them are corn. So it's like, why don't you just have one field? Part of it's psychological. It looks more doable with small equipment. When it's 2 fields, it just looks like less of a chore. But mainly it's because it's 2 cornfields now, but maybe next time, I mean, we can plant them either way we want. I don't know. Yeah, it's mostly just because it does create hassle, though. It does create a certain amount of hassle when, let's put that setting back, when it's 2 fields instead of 1. But anyway, that's fertilized. Let's get back down here and find a place to move these bales. Actually, you know what we should do? Yeah, we'd have to clear some machines out of that shed down there, and it's already overflowing with stuff. If we built, how about we build that new shed that we were looking at? Because that would house the harvester. It was only $5 grand. It would house the harvester and house the bales. Question is, where do we put it? We could sell some of the bales too, because we don't have animals just yet. You know, we got the hay for when we have animals, but we don't have animals just yet. So we could sell some of these bales and make that money, make some of the money back. We've got several bales. Let's find a good place to put this shed. I actually think right here might be good, facing that shed. What I do is I put it on the grid snap. We're gonna overlap it and get them at the same angle. Let's, you know, I always line stuff up like this, make sure they're at the exact same angle, and then we'll put it. We want enough space in between them to get the harvester in and out. We don't want to hassle with that, and we want to be able to bring bales in and out. But we want to save space. I think this will be good. Let's hope so. Get our harvester put up. It looked like it was going to fit in there. You know, you saw what I did, how I kind of just, like, as I was placing it, I overlapped it over the harvester to see, you know, is it the same size? It looks like it is. It looks like a really small shed, but at the same time, well, okay, here's the thing. So if it doesn't fit the harvester, then we'll put the harvester in the big shed and move some stuff over here. Mostly what I'm worried about is, do we have enough room between the two? We do. They do feel kind of close. How much room do we have? Do we have room to get the harvester in here? Yeah. This is fine for... It's not the best, but it's something. Yeah, we could put the harvester... Maybe we should. Okay. It fits as much as it looked like it was going to. These are kind of close. They are a little close, but I think it'll work. Let's put the harvester where that mower is. We'll just move the mower over there. We've got some long trailers you can see here, like our planter and our windrower there that are backed in there. We could put those elsewhere, and with the stuff we put here could be stuff that's easy, that doesn't take up much space. Because although these are kind of close for the stuff that we currently have, I don't think they're that close in the long run. So I'll just park this tractor here for now. And we'll put some, I'll get rid of this grass. We'll put like dirt and stuff connecting them, a little road. And it'll look, I think it'll look good. I think it'll be fine. All right, so now we got room to park this guy in here, at least for now. Get it out of the hail. Brand new harvester. We could park the, you know, there is room to park the header. We'll park the header outside. We'll park it over here. There's room right here beside this shed. Yeah, we'll just leave the header right there. Pull the harvester in here. That's perfect. We can come out here some other time and get that a little better. And this will look better once we get some dirt and stuff in between these. We'll get sorted out what goes where. Okay, so now we need to move these hay bales. Let's see. It seems like kind of a waste to load them onto a trailer only to bring them over here and then unload them off the trailer, but it might be faster than bringing them over 2 at a time. I don't know. You know, we've got this flatbed trailer here that we could bring them over on. But you know, I think it might be faster just to bring them over 2 at a time. So we'll just drop our weight off there, and we'll grab our front loader. Already got it set up for the tractor. There we go. Don't have a bale spike, but we've got this handy manure fork, and it should work fine. If we're careful, we can carry 2 bales at a time with it. Get them off this field here, and then we can get this fertilized. There we go. If we drive careful, we can keep 2 on here. And we're going to put these... Oh yeah, we're going to put these in that wooden shed that we just built. Yeah, this is faster. It'll take a minute to drive them over here 2 at a time, but faster than loading and unloading on a trailer. That seems unnecessary. Put these in here for now. I'm going to sell some of them. Wonder what alfalfa hay sells for. Why don't we have a look at that here? Let's put these in here. Let's see, what does alfalfa hay sell for? Wow. The animal dealer is the place to go with that. Right, so take it to animal dealer, it's 300 as opposed to regular hay. Yeah, it's worth twice as much as regular hay. Well, all right. So there's that. And when we do get animals, it'll be good for our animals. But I say we probably sell some of these bales. Wait, what's the price fluctuation on it look like? I didn't even look at that part of the screen at all. Actually, fairly severe. It's actually got fairly severe price fluctuation like you don't normally see. Usually on maps, hay and straw are usually pretty flat. They usually only vary like maybe 50 bucks. But as you can see, the price next month will be like, yeah, well, you can see the graph as clear as I can. So we're going to wait till next month. If we are going to sell any of our hay, and I think that might be a good idea, we should wait for next month. Oh, the sun is clearing up. Or the weather is clearing up. I just noticed it's got sunnier out here. I looked up at the weather forecast and it says it's now sunny. Let's go here. Let's turn my... There's a lot to do in this map, so I've been keeping it on real time. I only sped it up just to get past that weather. There we go. 2 more bales for the wood shed. Yeah, this manure fork works fine. As long as you just move 2 bales at a time and hook them, you know, drive carefully with them. Less attachments to juggle is always a good thing. There's 2 more bales. All right, and 2 more bales into the wood shed. Yeah, there's plenty of room between these buildings here, it looks like. I think it looks, yeah, I do think the look's a bit off, but I think it'll look better when we get, we'll make this all dirt in here. And maybe, I was wanting to have an animal pen in this area of the property. I haven't looked at, wrong button, I haven't looked at what kind of animal pen yet, but I do like cows. I don't like the looks of any of these pens. Yeah, they don't fit the aesthetic of our farm, so we're going to want to find like a modded cow pen that kind of fits. I want to keep an aesthetic here. Try to, anyway. Yeah, there's some really good cow barns that we don't have. We do have the open pasture, though. And I do like the fenceless pastures, which we could have it so that, yeah, like basically all of this right here is cow pasture and there are no buildings, but no, fenceless cow pasture would be more like something, you wouldn't have it in the middle of your property. It would be something more like I would give them all of this here. Yeah, so here we'll want an animal pen. Maybe, well, pigs or sheep could be cool. I think we'll have to find us a new building. I don't like the aesthetics of these buildings. They simply don't, they literally clash with everything we have, so, but I think whatever animals we have, put the pen like right here, or, you know, something like this. I don't know. Yeah, actually, we'll have to figure that out. I'm going to have to play around with that. I'll find us a good pen that matches the aesthetics of our farm, which we don't really have a set aesthetic yet, except to say that the 2 buildings we do have are kind of gray. That's kind of the only theme we've got going right now. Man, when is this rain, or this hail, rather, when's it going to stop? It says it's sunny. But you know how it goes. It takes a second to clear up. Oh, I kind of got those bales pushed back in there at a weird angle, don't I? I wasn't... Well, I guess it doesn't matter too much as long as they're in here. I like to keep things stacked neat, but, well, yeah, things don't always end up being neat. No, they just don't. And I really do prefer to stack everything by hand. So that just means that sometimes things aren't perfect, but then they kind of have that... Oh, they look okay. There's a lot of bales down here. I figure at the current prices... So at the current prices, we could sell these bales for about $2,400 per bale. I mean, yeah, these are pretty big bales. These are 8,000 liter bales. These are pretty big. There we go. The hail finally stopped, guys. It's finally a clear day. I'm going to turn this back. I sped the time back up just to try to get it to go away. It was not stopping. Finally, look at this. Oh, it's such a gorgeous day, and I don't know about you, but the hail was the sound was annoying. For me, it was. The sound was very annoying. All right, I think these right here are the last two bales. Whoops! I thought they were. Thought I had that lined up right. There we go. Last two bales. One thing about this shed, I'm noticing. Notice it. It's not drawing in. It doesn't spawn in until I get really close to it. I might have to redo that building. See, look, the building's not there. Oh, there, it pops in. It doesn't pop in until it's like 100 feet away. It's, yeah, I kind of don't know about that. I don't know what's causing that. I don't know if it's the building itself, if it's because I have so much stuff on this farmyard. I don't know, but if it keeps doing that, I might change that building. We'll just see. I might change that building. Yeah, I don't know. We might, yeah, I might revise the way this is. I don't like things that pop in 100 feet away. It's kind of ridiculous. So we'll see. But from what I'm seeing, yeah, that's unimmersive for me. I don't like that. So expect these buildings to change here. All right, but we've got all the hay up off of our field over there. I think so. We'll see when we drive around. We're going to spread the fertilizer. We'll see. But let's have a look in here. How many bales do we have? There's 6, 12, 14. Yeah, we got 14 bales. That's pretty good. We don't even have any animals yet, so that's pretty good. Let's top off our fertilizer. I'm trying to finish off this big bag of fertilizer, but it still has some left in it. Let's see if we can top this off, and there we go. Okay. This is the last of our fertilizer. Now, let's get out here and get this spread here. Okay, let's back up, back up, back up. We've got our width set to full. I know that. Let's back up here. Usually, actually, I would say I never fertilize grass fields. I just let them grow and just keep mowing them. But this is down one stage of fertilization because we just mowed it. We've got a fertilizer spreader right here. Why not fertilize this? We'll get a better yield in a couple months when we can mow it again. We just pulled, I mean, think about it. See this field here? It doesn't look that big. I mean, when you zoom out, it's like, well, it's not that big. We just pulled 14, I mean, as you saw, right? So just 14 8,000 liter bales off this. So yeah, let's definitely fertilize this and keep the yield up if we can. That does seem like a lot of bales. Well, alfalfa is a custom crop. Maybe it works different on this map than others. Regardless, I'm happy with the way it works. It's going to make us good money, and if we have animals, it'll be good for the animals. Let's see, how's our coverage of fertilizer look? Also, how is our moisture? Because we're running a mod called Real Weather, or Realistic Weather, which adds in a lot more dynamics. Our moisture is kind of off the charts this year because, as you can see, it's probably actually hurting our yield. We had a blizzard, you know, earlier this winter, or late this winter, I should say, earlier this year, you know, a couple months ago. We had a huge blizzard. Thanks to that, plus this hailstorm, our fields are good on the moisture, more than good. They're too moist, which I guess it could be worse because you see, oh, I want to check this fertilization. How is this? Perfect. It's all that beautiful dark blue. One thing is, if our fields didn't have enough moisture, then we would want to run irrigation on them, and we don't have any equipment for that yet. I've been so busy buying other things. Now, how is this up here? Our cornfields, yeah, that hailstorm put them over the mark. They were about 24 or so percent moisture. Now they're up at 35. So we're not going to have to irrigate. Yeah, and these numbers not being right, it's going to affect our yield, but I like the extra realism. More variables affecting the yield of our field. I think that's cool. All right, so if this is all done, we can park this back here. Well, somewhere, anywhere. We'll just park this out of the way. Here, let's park this over here by the harvester. I'll probably do away with that building. Just park this here for now. I don't use that tool back there. We'll just put this here. And front loader. Yeah, really not using the front loader right now. Here's what we'll do. Let's drive in here. Let's pick up our weight. Only had the front loader just to do the grass, or I should say the move those bales. Let's drop off our front loader right here. That'll work. All right. Our tractor is raring to go. I think everything here on our farm is done. There's only one thing I did forget. I forgot to roll this cornfield after I planted it last month. Sometimes I forget that. No big deal. How's lime? Fine. Nothing here needs lime. I often run with these filters off, and then it's easy to forget to turn them on. But I like to run with these filters off because when you have them on, yeah, you can't see anything with some of these filters on. So I usually run with them off, which often means sometimes I forget things. Let's check with contracts to see if is there any more quick money we can make this month. Absolutely there is. Like just off the top of my head right here, I like doing bale wrapping. It's relaxing job. It's kind of time gated, unfortunately, because the wrapper can only wrap so fast. But it's something decent to do if you're watching Netflix or something. You can sit here and wrap bales. It's about the most mindless job you can do. You can make some more money doing that. Hoeing goes fast, but that field is way far away. Yeah, that is a concern on 4X maps. You know, how far do you have to go to do X job? You know, I'm not sure our tractor could pull these weeders. And with, the rules for the Homestead Challenge, we can borrow machinery for the contract, but we have to use our tractor. So it restricts us to doing stuff that our tractor could pull and do, which I think is just the right level of restriction. Well, let's get started on this bale wrapping. Oh, I know exactly where that is. Yeah, I know where that is. That's 6,000, 8,000. Where's that? That is further down, or that's not as far down. That's on the same road and that's on the way there. So why don't here's what we're going to do. We can do both of these and make some money. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to borrow equipment for that. And where's the other wrapping? And then we're just going to make sure they're the same bales. It should be. Is it the same equipment? Round bale, square bale. Let's get down. I'm going to get down to the store. So here's what I was going to do. What I was going to do, and I caught myself, is I want to borrow the equipment for one contract and then just accept the other and then use the same equipment for both, right? But I want to make sure that's the same bale wrapper. Make sure it's the same equipment. One contract is round, one contract is square bales, but I think it's the same machine. Unfortunately, I didn't look at it. But there's only one machine that looks like that. So yeah, it's the same machine. Okay, it's the same machine. Only one machine even looks like that. So we'll just accept this contract without taking the equipment. Both of those fields are on the same road. I know where they're at. If we zoom out here, let's see. Yep, one is right there, and the other is right there. Yep, on the same road that runs south out of the store. So I'm going to drive down to the store. This will be a little less painful than the harvester. Yeah, 30-mile-an-hour drive to the store is about 5 minutes. That's not bad. I make this run all the time. Still, a semi-truck is what we're really after. With a semi-truck to transport our stuff between jobs, I feel that's how we'll do it. But until said time, I'm going to drive down to the store and go pick up this bale wrapper, and we'll get started on this. Make some more money before the month of May is out. Next month, next month, I guess we'll be starting on, well, again, according to the crop calendar, canola can be harvested as early as June. We could have harvest contracts starting next month. I like harvesting. I see it as a good moneymaker and something I'd like to do, as long as, of course, as long as we can move our harvester around efficiently. It sure did turn into a beautiful day out here. I'm glad that hail was something else, but yeah, it's a gorgeous day out here now. Truly gorgeous out here. Oh yeah, earlier this month, at the beginning of May, this tractor had 15 and some hours on it. That was in real time last night. Last night I was doing some contracts here in May, and the tractor had 15 hours, and it needed its, I had to do maintenance on it. My point is, I had to do maintenance on the tractor just last night because, well, 15 hours on a tractor, the maintenance bar was getting pretty low. Well, now I look down there, it's got 21.8 hours on it, and the maintenance bar is going down again. Of course, you know, the more hours you put on a tractor, the faster it wears down. It's just crazy how much time I put on this tractor. I have a lot of fun farming here. So yeah, we did make a fair amount of money on contracts already this month. I put a lot of hours into do that. I like farming here. It's fun. I enjoy doing the contracts if there's not work to do on our farm. I don't mind doing work on other farms. Oh wow, we got a bunch of pedestrian traffic out here in front of the store. Come on, people, out of the way. Can't you see there's a tractor trying to come through? Big tractor. Alright, so we'll just use our tractor. We'll take this baler. That's a cute little tractor they gave us, but we're using our own. That's one reason this tractor has so many hours on it. We've got 2 tractors, but really our little Fint, I've not been using it because thing is, this thing is just better at everything than it is. I use it for some things, but I always end up using this guy, and because I'm using it for the contracts too, it's just getting a lot of time racked up on it. I don't even know how much time we have here on the map. We can see though. I mean, this is episode 8, and we have 37 hours on this map now. I spend a lot of time farming on these, but it's fun. So that's like 5 hours of gameplay for every one episode. That's probably about right. That's probably usually how it goes with these series. But you know, I enjoy farming in these places, so I'm gonna pull up the map so I can see what fields we're passing. But basically, we're just taking this road down here, and we're gonna get to bale wrapping. These fields aren't even that big. Bale wrapping contracts, like, you know, they pay decent for the amount of work they take. They pay decent. But yeah, because of the slow speed of the bale wrapper that you can't control, they're a little bit time gated. Here's our first field up here, and I forget exactly how to get to this field. You know, I think I could have actually gone straight down this road here. Actually would have been the way to do it. Yeah, I neglected to do that. All right, so we're going to cross the bridge and get to it from the other side over there. Well, I'm going to get to work on these contracts. Thanks so much for following along with me here in May on our Montana homestead. The homestead's coming along great. We just need more farm. We need more farm. I want to have more farm. What I keep saying that, what I mean is like more work to do on our farm, so I'm not left to my own devices working on other people's farms. You know, I want to not have time to do contracts because we're so busy on our farm. We'll see how that goes. For now, I'm going to get to these bale wrapping contracts here. Got some bales to wrap, some money to bring in. I will catch up with you guys in June. I'm not sure when we're harvesting our wheat field. It'll be our first actual harvest, you know, that we planted, so that'll be cool. I don't think wheat is until, it'll be July or August probably when we harvest our wheat, but we might have some harvesting to do next month. And next episode, we might have our, I'd like to get a semi. We'll have the money. What I'm looking at is, here, I'll show you real quick before we go. Where's he at? This guy right here. This is our cheapest semi. Oh, or this guy. You know what? One of these two right here, $45,000. Maybe this guy here. I kind of like this. Kind of like a Peterbilt look. Yeah, it's supposed to be a Peterbilt. Kind of a cool little semi. Well, we'd make it a 6x4. We'd make it look more like the picture there, maybe. I don't know. But we can afford a semi. We'll be able to afford one. If we could find a cheap low loader, well, that'll be great. Well, we'll see. I'll see you guys next episode. Thanks so much. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe and like the video only if you like it. Don't forget to click that button. And guys, I'll see you next time. Peace out.